Hey guys, hi YouTube. So I was watching something on TV. I was just doing homework, watching TV, and a topic came up that's very personal to me. And I have to look at my clock again. Um, and that is about bullying. I remember Philly Diva did it, video on it. Mrs. Diva Likes did it on her topic, and this is something that a lot of people are doing. And I think I might do a video response on her. Um, Bullying is a serious matter and people are not taking it that way, I guess, because I mean it's just now beginning to get attention, but it's been going on for a while. It comes in many forms. There's physical, there's mental, like emotional. But all of us have probably gone through it in some form or another. um, I remember coming to this country and going to kindergarten, or what, no, not kindergarten, I'm sorry, middle school and high school, and having to deal with it. I went through people telling me that I was ugly, and they said everything possible that you can imagine about Africa, and it continued. I had some days when I didn't want to go to school, you know, because it was that serious. But when you got to high school, it did get a little bit better, but it was still there. And the jokes I faced, the ones that I really, really faced, the things I went through had to do with a lot of black kids that said stuff to me. It had nothing, other races never really said anything to me. It was mostly black kids that made sure to remind me of how messed up or how this I was. Oh, this is about Africa. And it really took me a while. And I really, really hated black kids at the time. I really did. And I was like, who would be that evil towards somebody? And what is so wrong? But now that I'm all grown up, I understand. I understand that bullying has nothing to do with you. A lot of the time when it happens, it's the person. Whether you're not, your home is not stable. People have told you the same thing. Somebody has told you, has beat you up and made you feel so bad about yourself that you have to take it on others. Um, and that's one thing people have to realize. And for people out there who are young, especially young girls who are being bullied, or young boys that are like going through it, just remember that that has nothing to do with you. It's about the person who's committing the act, they say. Um, People say, if somebody says mean comments to you, you'll get over, it's not a big deal. If somebody hits you, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Because those scars, they say that sometimes it's better to be hit or slapped or whatever physically, somebody hits you or whatever, and you can get over it. But they say that invisible wounds, which I call them, are the mental ones and the emotional ones, the things that people say to you can actually stick, and you believe them. Because I did most of my life, from middle school all the way to like my teens, my late teens, even early 20s. I was beating myself up because I believed that I was ugly because I was African. That's what it was. I believed it, and I walked around with my head high, held down. Um, I also had this thing about, oh, I had ugly feet. I could never wear sandals because I made sure, oh, I'm going to cover up myself because nobody can tell me, oh, you're ugly. Um, my skin was really not dark at the time, because I don't know, I can't say dark skin thing. That was not an issue, but it wasn't about my skin. It was just general about Africa. And I just walked around with so much anger towards black kids. I hated, I was like, why would anybody make somebody's life so miserable? But at the time, I really didn't get it. I didn't get that bullying had nothing to do with me. And I said, you know what? One day, if I'm ever pretty or I'm ever this or ever that, I will never talk to another black kid. And I said, I wish the worst things on them. I really did. But that was, whole hate coming from being treated a certain way. And I understand when you see a kid who brings a gun to school, or someone who gets fed up, says, you know what, I'm going to end this, or they're going to end their life, or they're going to take it out on somebody else. I totally get it. I won't even say, you know what, that's wrong to do. Figure out how to handle your emotions without killing people. It's wrong. But I understand it, because you get fed up if somebody, at the same time you're sitting in class and you have somebody whispering stuff in your ear, telling you about this, about Africa, this, about Africa, that. You're a kid, you're still trying to find your identity. And here you have somebody telling you all this stuff in your ear. And they say, your personality forms like the age of 5. Well, that was about the time I was here in America. So I can only imagine, I was like, all this stuff into my head. You know, I would believe some of them. Um, So it's hard. Those scars are really difficult sometimes to erase, and it took me a while, you guys. It took me. You see, I'm very getting very like it hurts deep down because I think about it now when I'm doing this video for some reason, and I'm nervous. I'm anxious, I guess. Yeah, but for example, the not being pretty thing, that took me a while, you guys. It took me a while to accept, to be confident that I am pretty, I'm beautiful. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my people. There's nothing wrong with Africa. It was all about the person, the people that were doing this. That took a while. And also it took a wonderful mom who was loving, I would say, really loving, to whenever I came home depressed and said I hated school, I didn't want to go to school, they always told me, you are gorgeous, you're beautiful. And ignore those kids. They're just stupid and they're causing a lot of problems. Well, it worked now. It kind of worked late, but I think it sunk in and I started believing it. And that's all I can say to young people out there who are going through it. It hurts, and you're going to be crying sometimes at home. You're going to wish you somebody else, because I did. I wish I was a black lady. I wish I was a black lady with no accent. I mean, because things would have been easier, but I guess not, because everybody's going through the bullying. I mean, even people that are normal, you know. Um, so I always wished I was that. I wished all this other stuff. I would daydream, just wish I was light skinned and no accent. You know, things would have been so much easier, but I guess not. Um, so that's one thing I would say is, as a mom, if your mom's out there, you know, just be loving. That's all you can do. Give love, because people say, well, if the bullying is going on, I would know about it. You wouldn't, because a lot of kids feel so embarrassed that something's wrong with them, they start believing it, that they don't talk to their parents about it. So your kid comes home, things that look normal, they play normal, but deep down they're scarred. They're scarred, and you have to just take a moment every day to ask them how their day was, I guess. Give them a hug, you know, and say you love them, because one day they'll believe it, despite what the bullies say. Um, that definitely worked. I really thank my mom for that. She used to tell me how gorgeous I am, and I'm like, yeah, right, mom. You just say that because you're a mom. You're the mom. Um, yeah. Um, and you know, it takes time, and you if you're going through the bullying, you're gonna beat yourself up for a while. You really are. And sometimes I know some people have really killed themselves. It's that bad. And people were like, oh, well, we didn't know this was going on. A lot of times that it was going on, people just ignore it, especially classmates and stuff. They usually know when it's going on. And then they speak up if the kid is passed on, which is really bad. Um, so it is hard because those words sometimes stick, and it can wreck you up inside, and you try to come back and fix it. But it takes time. The insecurities will come along, and you're constantly questioning yourself. You're questioning everything about you because somebody told you something else, you know? And people are like, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Um, you know, for if somebody tells you when you're younger you were ugly, and that ugliness thing was repeated to you over and over, at some point you believe. That's what abusers do. They'll repeat stuff that you are nothing and you're nothing and you're nothing, until you start believing it, and then you treat yourself less. And so this topic is definitely personal. Um, all I can say is that love that my mom gave me definitely helped. And do speak up and let somebody know, because a lot of kids are just like, no, I'm not gonna tell my mom, and I'm scared this is gonna happen. You don't be scared. You know, let somebody know. Because at least, hey, if something happens, you did say it to somebody. Yeah. Um, I mean, the stats are really shocking. You guys have seen them out there. They're really shocking at how the rate. We got the internet bullies as well, which I have another thing to say to them. But if you come on my channel with negative comments and leaving me stuff that are negative, I really don't care. I really don't care, because I've been through it. I've been called any kind of names, and a lot of stuff have happened to me just for being African. Or being whatever. It doesn't bother me anymore, because you know, when people have told you everything else about you that was not true, and they beat you up and wrecked you up inside, and you got over it, you cannot do anything to me by negative comments. You cannot. I'm over it. So that's all I can say is it gets better. I guess in my 30 now, I really, really is better. The self-esteem is there, the confidence is there, and nobody can tell me anything less. I'm walking around with my head up high now, and I don't care. And that's what you have to do. Over eventually, you have to just ignore all that. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Because just remember, the person is going through their stuff on their own, and they want to put it on you. They want to take it out on you, and you really don't believe it. And I didn't believe it. And well, I believed it, at the time, but I no longer believe it. Um, and also stand up for yourself, because I remember my mom used to tell me, "Oh, if those kids are bugging you, just be quiet." I played quiet for quite a while. I played quiet until I was like 21. I'm no longer quiet. If you attack me or come near me, telling me this and that, I will talk back and I will say something, because I was quiet long enough, and it did not help anything. Um, so you guys, that was just my little personal story, and to say, if you're going through a tough time, just hang in there. And if you have somebody who's strong, who you feel comfortable with in your life, let them know what's going on. Um, I know not everybody's fortunate to have parents that can come home to and tell stuff, but find somebody you can tell, or even that teacher that I had wonderful teachers, and I always talked to them, and they just told me, don't worry about it, those kids, just ignore them. And it's but it was a journey to trying to get to being confident. It took a while. All right, you guys. So that was my story, and I hope you guys please share your comments and let me know if you do it and how you dealt with it. It might help somebody else. All right, bye, you guys.